The marble floors of the Grand Hotel shone like mirrors, glowing beneath the golden light of crystal chandeliers. Polished shoes clicked in rhythm as wealthy travelers moved through the lobby, their laughter and chatter echoing like music in a world of luxury. Men in tailored suits checked their watches, women in elegant gowns swept past with practiced grace. And then, silence or something close to it. Two figures stood in the center of it all, and they did not belong. An older man, his skin weathered by decades under the sun, held a scuffed leather suitcase whose handle looked ready to break. Beside him was a frail woman wrapped in a faded scarf, her coat thin against the morning chill. They hesitated, as if the marble beneath their feet was not made for them. Yet the man's back was straight. Time and hardship had not broken his dignity. The hotel manager, tall and polished in his gray suit, leaned over the counter. His smirk spread wide enough for the entire lobby to see. His voice rang out, cruel and mocking. "Pay for the cheap room and leave quickly. People like you don't belong here." A ripple of laughter followed from the staff, sharp as glass. A couple of guests nearby chuckled too, enjoying the humiliation. The woman lowered her head and clutched her bag tighter, her shoulders trembling with shame. But the man did not flinch. His gaze was steady, his silence heavy. For a moment the air shifted. Those watching felt it too. Something was about to change. Narrators pause. Friends, before we go deeper into this story, if you believe in kindness, in second chances, in standing up for what's right, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Kindness Corner, and share this story with someone who needs hope today. Your support helps us keep spreading these powerful stories of compassion. The man's name was Elias. He had spent his life bent over the soil, planting seeds, harvesting crops, and feeding entire towns. His hands were scarred, his clothes patched, his shoes worn thin, but his work had kept children from going hungry. His wife, Ruth, had stood by him through every storm. She raised their children, cooked meals from little, and kept their home alive with love even when money ran dry. After selling the last of their modest farm, they had come here to the city. Not for luxury, not for pleasure, but because Ruth had a medical appointment that could not be missed. One night of shelter, that was all they needed. But to the staff, their presence was laughable. The humiliation burned like fire. Ruth's eyes filled with tears, but Elias placed a steady hand over hers. He did not beg. He did not shout. Instead, with a calm strength that silenced the air, he said, "Son, I came here not to beg for what I cannot pay. I came here to rest after 50 years of feeding people like you. This suitcase you mock? It once carried my tools. Those same tools tilled the earth so that children in this city would eat." His words struck the lobby like thunder in a clear sky. Conversations halted. Even the tapping of polished shoes stopped. For the first time, the manager's smirk faltered. Ruth straightened beside him, her shame replaced by pride. Elias's voice deepened. "I may wear worn clothes, but every wrinkle was earned through honest work. Every scar on these hands is a story of survival. If paying for the cheap room is the only way you see me, then remember this: cheap does not mean worthless. I have lived a life richer than these walls will ever know." The lobby froze. A receptionist bit her lip, her forced smile fading. A guest shifted uncomfortably, regret washing over his face. Shame began to spread through the hall like an invisible wave. Ruth whispered, "Elias, maybe we should just go." But he shook his head, eyes locked on the manager. "No, Ruth. People like us have been silenced too many times. Today, they will hear." Elias set his suitcase on the desk. With a firm hand, he pulled out an old leather-bound ledger and dropped it on the counter. The thud echoed against the marble walls. Inside were decades of records, receipts, orders, deliveries. 4 years my farm supplied this city. Restaurants, markets, even this very hotel's kitchen. Your guests ate my harvests under chandeliers like these. And now you mock the hands that fed you. The truth sank in, heavy as stone. The staff looked down, faces pale. Guests shifted uneasily, some whispering apologies. An elderly woman in the corner clapped softly. A man followed. Soon, the entire lobby filled with applause, hesitant at first, then swelling into a wave that washed over the shame. The manager's face turned red. Not with pride. Not with arrogance. But with shame he could no longer hide. Ruth's eyes glistened, not with tears of humiliation this time, but with pride. Elias had reminded everyone of a truth too often forgotten: dignity cannot be measured by wealth. The applause thundered, louder than the cruel laughter that had once cut them down. The manager cleared his throat, his voice trembling. "Sir, I apologize. Please take the suite. No charge." But Elias only shook his head. "We did not come for charity. We ask only for what we can pay, nothing more, nothing less." His refusal carried more weight than any outburst could. He had not only silenced the mockery but transformed it into a lesson no one in that lobby would forget. The keys were finally handed to them. Ruth leaned on her husband's arm as they walked toward the elevators, their dignity unbroken, their pride intact. The laughter that once mocked them had been replaced with silence and respect. Closing narration. Friends, if this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Every click helps us spread more stories of courage, compassion, and humanity. And before we end, I want to ask you something important. If you had been standing in that hotel lobby, watching Elias face down mockery with dignity, what would you have done? Share your thoughts in the comments. Because sometimes the poorest hands carry the richest hearts, and sometimes a single reply can silence an entire room.